Hey y'all,
Hey.
it's Mama T and Sister Pam coming back with another video. And today's video we're gonna do peach cobbler
Yes.
my way.
Yes.
And I want y'all to enjoy this video. But would you mind like, share, and subscribe this video? I really would appreciate it. It won't cost you anything,
Yes.
but we love you, and so we
Yes.
appreciate that. And I hope everything is going well with your family. And you've already been prayed for, so we already prayed for you. So we just thank God for you and thank God that we're able to spend this time with you on making peach cobbler. I used to work for manage a place they call Grandma's Biscuits. So I don't know whether you ever heard of this in your town. I don't even know whether it was in your town, but I live in Stone Mountain, Georgia. But when I stayed in Atlanta, I worked for this place called Grandma Biscuits, and they made the best biscuits, the best sausage biscuits, steak biscuits. They even sold fatback bacon biscuits, every kind of biscuit that you could name. And they were famous for their peach cobbler and their steak biscuits. So I'm gonna do the peach cobbler the way I did it at Grandma Biscuits. Now my mom didn't teach me how to do the peach cobbler, but I learned from working at Grandma Biscuits how they did it, and their peach cobbler was the best. So we're gonna get started on this. Okay, y'all. First thing I did was I opened 2 cans of sliced peaches in heavy syrup. If you don't have the sliced peaches in heavy syrup, you can use the sliced peaches in light syrup if you want to, and you just add a little more sugar. But because this has the heavy syrup in there, we might not use as much sugar as we would if it had the light or either peaches and water. So I have 2 cans of this, and so what I did, I'm not gonna just make it all out in the pan. I'm gonna put it in the bowl because I'm gonna make two. I'm gonna make a peach cobbler for my niece and her family, and I'm gonna make a small one for us because we really don't need any peach cobbler. But she works at home, and so she's shed in, and she has kids, and we want to send them a treat. So they're gonna come, and she's gonna come and pick it up, no problem. We're gonna hand it to them, and that's that. We still trying to keep all the germs down. Whenever you cook, please wash your hand, and when you're dealing with flour, take your gloves off. So we are practicing that, and we're still practicing our social distancing. So you have to do that too. So I think they've been having a lot of problems with people just not being in compliance with what's going on out here. So just practice staying away and just keep yourself distant from people until this thing is over. So don't be hard-headed. Let's just do what we need to do to keep ourselves healthy. Okay, so what I used, I have 2 cans of these peaches. I put them in the bowl, and I added 1 can of water, and I put that in the bowl. And we're going to add, not good, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Maybe one. Let's just do 1 teaspoon of cinnamon because I'm going to need some cinnamon to go on top of the peaches, the cobbler when I'm done with it. And I don't know whether you saw my other video where I did the biscuits. I saved my biscuit dough. I had some dough left that I didn't want to discard or throw away. So whenever you have dough left, don't throw it away. You can't keep it long, but if you want to make something the next day, like a chicken pot pie, peach cobbler, you can use that for that. Okay. So we got the maybe a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon. You got 2 sticks of butter. I'm going to pour maybe a stick of butter in here, and I'm going to save the other half to go to brush on top of the pie. I love working with butter. Real butter, not margarine. Real margarine. Margarine, when you melt it, it tends to turn to water, and the oily part, which they say is butter, is not. It turns to oil and it floats on top, and the bottom part is just water. If you notice, butter doesn't do that. This is 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. This is because I'm making 2. You'll just see me make 1 for now, but I'm making 2 out of this. Flavor, vanilla flavor. Okay. And always a pinch of salt. Whenever you're doing a peach cobbler, do you a pinch of salt. Taste it before you put the salt in, and then taste it before you put the salt in, and taste it after you put the salt in. You will see a big difference in that. So a 1/2 teaspoon of salt I'm putting in there. It just enhances the flavor. Okay, for sugar, I do use sugar to sprinkle on top of my pie. And with this already having being in heavy syrup, we're going to use maybe a cup of sugar. And this is over a cup. Okay. And we're going to save the rest of that. And this is about a 1/2 cup of flour. And what we did with it, we added water to it until we got a paste. So this is the paste. So I'm going to add that to it. It's nothing but, as the old folks say, thickening. So we're going to add that in there. And this is exactly how they made theirs. So if you all are from Georgia, Atlanta especially, if you know anything about Grandma Biscuits, you know they had the best peach cobbler I've ever tasted. Good peach cobbler. Okay. Got all that out of there. Okay. Then what I do, I just stir all this together. Get all that in there. Let's stir all this together. Make sure you get all your butter, your salt, and everything in here with your peaches, because I'm just going to pour this in my bowls in my pans when I finish. But I just like to kind of do mine, just put it all in one bowl and just kind of get it over with. Okay, we got that all stirred in there. Now we're going to get our pans to put this in, and I'll be back. Okay, y'all, I'm back, and my face is cut off, so, you know, I want it to be that way so you can get a good look on what I'm doing to this pie. So this is what was left from making those biscuits, and so I put it in the refrigerator, and I dusted it over with flour. So this is what we're going to use to make for our pie crust. If you want to know how to make this crust, just look at my biscuit video and you'll see it. Okay, I'm going to have to move this over some more. Bring this down to me. Okay, it's already ready. All I need to do is just flatten it out. I got my big jumbo pen today. And I don't like a real thick crust, but when they used to come in at Grandma Biscuits, everybody wanted a lot of crust on their pie. I'm going to take off half of this because I'm making a small one for us. And I'm just going to lay it to the side. And this is going to be for her pie. Niece, you're going to love me for this. So if you can do anything, if you're making any pies or desserts and, you know, for your family, make an extra one. Make an extra one and give it to somebody. This crust is good and cold, so it's pretty much easy to handle when it's cold like this. Okay, let me flatten this out a little bit more. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, I got this rolled out really thin, and remember, this dough it's not plain flour, so this will rise. This is for plain flour. If you don't put baking powder in the flour, it won't rise. So this has got everything in it. It's self-rising flour. So what I do in order to transfer my crust over, I just flip it on my rolling pin. Make sure it's floured. Just ease that crust over like that. Okay, ease it over like that. Here's the pie with all the drippings in it. And lay it right there. I'm not going to do the one with all the stripes and the lettuce work. We're going to do this just like this. We're going to take a knife and just cut off all the excess. And I'm doing this, usually I do this in one of my pans, or my glass pans, but since we are giving this one away, and you don't have to put any prints in it. Sometimes you can take a fork and go around for decoration or whatever, but this is how I'm doing it. I'm just pressing it in all the way around, pressing it. Okay, now, hold it down a little bit, sis. I'm adding my butter, just little drizzles of butter. All on that crust, just little drizzles of butter. Just spread it out as much as you can. Okay. I take my remainder of sugar. I'm not going to use all the sugar. And I take my remainder of sugar and I just sprinkle it on the top. I don't use a whole lot of sugar on the top. I take my cinnamon. I'm going to use my hand for this. Can kind of control it better, and I put the cinnamon on the top of that. This is going in the oven, 350 degrees, for about 45 minutes. Maybe not that long. So we'll see. When the brown, how you know your pie is ready? If your crust, like if your crust has brown already and brown the edges of it, if you see it bubbling, and if the bubbles look thick, that means that your pie has cooked in there, and then you got a good pie. But if the brown the edges look still watery or whatever, that means you didn't put enough flour in there. So we're going to put this pie in the oven, and when I come back, and I'm going to make this second pie for us, and I'm going to put this one in the oven, and when I come back, I'll show you how it looks, okay? Y'all, the peach cobbler is out of the oven. I hope you can see it. It is piping hot. It's got that cinnamon and sugar on top. The crust is good. Good peach cobbler. And this one is going to my niece. let's sample. We're gonna get ready to sample our peach cobbler. We got to stop making these sweets. So we're gonna get ready to sample our peach cobbler. We just took it out of the oven. It's hot. And the one that I showed you, that's my niece. Her husband is coming to pick that one up. And I made us a little small one. So we're going to sample that. This is it.
Yes.
Peach cobbler.
They look delicious.
With crust. Okay, let's sample it. It's still hot, y'all.
That's good.
Old-fashioned peach cobbler. That crust is delicious. The crust is delicious. I want you to try this recipe. Want to taste a little more, sis?
Oh yeah. This crust is really good, and
okay. And this is good with if you have your favorite vanilla ice cream that you want to put on here, or you know, whipped cream or whatever. But this peach cobbler is good. It's just like the peach cobbler I made when I worked at Grandma Biscuits. Old fashioned, nothing special. I didn't decorate it. I just didn't do the lettuce work on there. I just did a plain old fashioned peach cobbler. Excuse me. And it is delicious. Add your scoop of ice cream on there. Because I am too. How good. See you later, MTS crew.